Hello, how is it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah. I'm a personal online fitness and health coach. If you know me, welcome back. So glad you are here. I don't know if you saw my last What I Eat in a Day video, but this one will be a little bit different. Start things off. I want you to know that I am not very extremely accurate. I'm not training for a bodybuilder show. And I am not extremely serious about losing weight. And also, I do have a knowledge behind nutrition, so I understand what I have to eat. The reason why I say that is because my tracking might not be perfect. It might be a little bit of guessing. There might be a few holes here and there, but overall, it gets me to my goals and it works for me. The calories and macros that I am about to disclose to you works for me. Now, every single person is different. You won't be able to take my calories and my macros and plug it in for you and get the same results. And this goes for everyone. If you are looking to lose weight, gain muscle, body comp, meaning lose fat, gain muscle, then you have to figure out your calories and macros that work for you. If you don't know how to do that, then I would suggest hiring a coach. Currently, right now, for my roster, it is full. But in March, I will be allowing a few people in. So there is the waitlist application form in the description below if you do want me as a coach. For the past month, I have been eating in a slight deficit. Nothing too extreme, and honestly was very manageable. And that actually made me lose about 3 kg, which is probably over 6 pounds. Because I dropped a decent amount of weight, I don't know if I want to stick to this. So I've upped my calories a little bit. I'm gonna see how it is the next couple weeks and then I will readjust. So the calories that I am currently consuming roughly, all right, roughly, is 1900 calories, 40% carbs, 30% protein, and 30% fat. And then in grams, that's 190 carbs, 143 grams protein, and 63 grams fat. What I'm mostly focused on is the calories and the protein. If some days I want more fat and less carbs, that is totally okay. And then if some days I want more carbs and fat, that is completely okay. And like I said, I am not a bodybuilder. This will not affect my results as much. My current goals. So my current goals is that because I've lost so much weight, I kind of want to get back a little bit heavier, maybe hit around the 58 kg mark. Feel quite lean at the moment. And I always flop between the two. I flop between wanting to be a little bit heavier and a little bit bigger looking. And then I flop between wanting my abs to be shown, but then I flop to be wanting my glutes to be very full and big, you know? So it's honestly a constant battle that I have with myself. But that's the thing about your fitness journey. You can constantly change things up and change the way you look, which is really exciting. All right, now we are going to make my breakfast. And with my breakfast, which I honestly highly recommend to my clients, it works for me, and that's why I recommend it. I always say to just eat the same thing or rotate a few things around. If you like something, keep it. If it gives you a good amount of protein, if it gives you a good amount of micronutrients, and it hits your macros pretty well, then just keep it for a while. All right? I have been eating the same breakfast probably for, oh my gosh, probably for like 3, 4 months, 5 months. And I change things as I go. For example, I currently like something a little bit sweeter in the morning. So because I have eggs, I have a little bit of jam that I put on my toast and it just hits the spot every single time. And the reason why I always keep it the same is because it's already there planned out for me. In the morning, it's always mayhem trying to get myself out of the door or trying to get things done. The last thing that I want to do is be fooling around on MyFitnessPal trying to figure out what has enough protein, what I feel like I want to eat, and if we have the ingredients in the house. It's just too much work. And that's why I keep to the same breakfast. I always go for quick and easy breakfasts that are easy to clean up and high in protein and are delicious. All right, I have been using Vogel's mixed grain toast. This is from New Zealand, obviously. I like this toast because there are no seed oils. So when I say seed oils, there's no like canola oil, there's no vegetable oil. I just try to stay away from those because I find that I get quite inflamed when I have too much of those. Obviously, this is a little bit processed, but I actually do know every ingredient in it, which is another thing that I do look for. For my eggs, I really like them dry. Don't at me. I always get told that it's disgusting, but I can only eat eggs when they're really, really dry. So I scramble the eggs and put a little bit of salt in them. And then I put one of these in the toaster, put about a teaspoon of butter, and then a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon of jam. As you probably saw, I did not weigh out my butter and my jam. That's because, like I said, I've been making this breakfast for so long, so I kind of can roughly estimate what it is. And also because I am not tracking so accurately, it's all right. It's okay if I'm off a few grams here and there. Before I go grocery shopping, I'm gonna have a few snacks. I'm gonna have a banana and these seaweed snacks. I'm obsessed with these seaweed snacks. They're just so delicious. And there's barely no calories in this, but seaweed does have a lot of iodine in it, which is really good for you. All right, just walking out of the house and my partner made me a nice little iced coffee. This has about like a cup of full milk, I think. Just like the normal milk, not the light milk. So I have to add that to my Fitness Pal as well because you can drink your calories too, which I find a lot of my clients forget, which is really interesting. All right, before I die of the heat by sitting in this car, but I was going to mention, so usually before I knew much about nutrition or anything and I knew I needed protein, I would always go to the grocery store and pick out protein bars because I literally thought that was the only option for me, and then I would be able to get at least 20, 30 grams of protein just then and there. But those protein bars, honestly, not even that good. And I would just eat it because I knew it'd be a good source of protein. The ingredients of these protein bars are hectic. And I mean, I do love protein bars, but there are better options if you do not feel like a protein bar. Especially the protein bars in New Zealand, I find the selection really bad with just nasty ingredients, and they always leave me feeling quite gross and unsatisfied. And honestly, they don't even taste that good. So recently, instead of getting protein bars, I've been obsessed with like jerky and stuff. A lot of jerky sometimes does have a lot of sugar or whatnot, but to be honest, it's a way better option. And I don't know if you can read the ingredients right there, but legit, 5 ingredients, and then total 27 grams of protein in this little bag, which is perfect for me to snack on my way home. So a great option if you haven't ever thought of jerky before. I know I didn't, and it's just like my new recent favorite. So I'm gonna add this to my snacks and enjoy it on my way home. Okay, let me know, how much do you think this whole haul is? Drop it in the comments right now, and then I will tell you how much it is. Okay, everyone got their answers in? It was $167. It's a lot. Like, there's not much here. Isn't that ridiculous? Like, yeah, the salmon might be like 20 bucks, but other than that, it's hectic, very hectic. All right, now I am going to prep for dinner so I just don't have more cooking to do later. So I'm actually going to make like the salad base and the tzatziki sauce. I'll show you how do I do that, but right now let's get into the salad. And then after I will have my like lunch. But for my Greek salad, it's not like a traditional Greek salad. I think traditional Greek salad doesn't have lettuce in it, but I'm gonna be putting lettuce, feta cheese, I don't know if you can see it, Kalamata olives, red onion, and cucumber. I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes, so that's why I don't really add the tomatoes in here. I'm like just getting out of my like hatred for tomatoes. All right, so when it comes to tracking this salad, I don't even think I'm gonna put lettuce in my Fitness Pal because lettuce barely has any calories. However, if I was like strictly tracking, then maybe I would, but realistically, I could probably have this whole bowl of salad for maybe like 40 calories. I'm definitely gonna track the Greek feta and the olives because those are more calorie dense. If I do track any of these, they will be very rough estimates. When I was losing weight, I wasn't really tracking like the small minimal things. Because I'm not so serious with tracking, I'm not going to track things that have barely any calories because honestly, at the end of the day, if I total them up, it might just be like 100 extra calories. Would I recommend this way if you are tracking calories? Honestly, I think you can start doing this once you have a good idea of how many calories are in what types of food. For example, I would always track oil because that is very calorie dense, but for things that are not calorie dense, I don't think I would go through the trouble of tracking them. When I was bodybuilding, I would literally track everything so accurately. I would weigh everything out and would not miss a gram. It was actually nuts. But obviously I am not tracking for a bodybuilding show, so it's a lot more lenient. I'm mainly tracking just so I can get a rough idea of how many calories I'm consuming in the day, and then keeping an eye on what my body weight does, what my strength does, and then I just know a little bit more about myself. So it becomes quite challenging when you're making like a big batch of something, and especially if you're cooking for your partner or whatnot. So I kind of roughly estimate how much I would eat. So I'd put this much amount of feta in it and I'll weigh it out. So there's 92 grams of feta in that block, and I'm guessing I'm gonna have a third of this salad. So if I take a third of 90 grams, that will be around 30 grams. So that's what I'm going to track on MyFitnessPal. So roughly, that's about 90 calories of just feta. Personally, there's like different types of feta I realized when I came to New Zealand. Personally, I only like the Greek style. I find other styles of feta taste too much like goat cheese, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of goat cheese. So if you want that typical Greek tasting feta, then make sure you look for Greek style feta, if that makes sense. So like before, I'm just gonna roughly estimate how many olives I'm actually eating. So I'm putting down that I'm gonna have like around 7 olives. So good. So the one thing about salads is that sometimes the dressing is what is so caloric dense. So usually what's in salad dressings are oils. And if you have a lot of oils in it, then the calories are just gonna shoot up. So with this specific salad dressing, I honestly just use lemon, a little bit of red wine vinegar, and oregano. I will just juice like half a lemon over top of the salad. And this is like the easiest salad dressing to make. You can buy salad dressing at the store, but honestly, sometimes they're just full of vegetable oils and cheaper oils. So I prefer to just make it at home. It's so simple. Now, I don't have red wine vinegar, but usually I just pour a little bit of the vinegar that the olives are in. And I think that's all right. Don't quote me on this. Don't follow this, but I think it's all good. I mean, if I'm eating the olives out of the juice, then like, surely I can have some of the juice, right? So honestly, I just pour a little bit on top. The lemon and the red wine vinegar, you don't even need to track as well because it's barely any calories. Same with spices like oregano or any type of spices like salt and pepper. Unless you're tracking your sodium intake, then you don't need to track it. I'll put a little bit of salt on the salad, but because the feta is quite salty, you don't need that much. And give it a good oopsies. Oh, you know what? I forgot the red onion. All right, so I absolutely love tzatziki sauce, and it is so simple to make. So many people will buy it from the store and they're like $5 for like a little jar, but it's honestly so easy to make, and I prefer to make it at home because one, we can control the oils, and also I like to use a high protein yogurt, so you can also get a little bit of high protein in this sauce as well. So first thing is that we are going to be adding a cup of that yogurt. I would always suggest using like a Greek yogurt, a thick yogurt, because obviously you want this sauce to be a little bit more thick. Then we want 1 garlic clove, chopped up as finely as you can. If you want, you can also grate this. Might be a little bit easier, but personally, I find if you grate it, you like lose a lot of the garlic. Then you want about a half a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay. And then you want to grate up a cucumber. Right now I'm going to use half a cucumber, see how much it is, and then if I need more, I might add a little bit more. With this grated cucumber, you want to squeeze the excess water because cucumber is very watery. You want to squeeze all of the water out. The more you squeeze out, the better, because then it makes your tzatziki more thick and not as watery. I think we have to switch jars. By the way, keep your jars. If you have pickles, if you have salsa, keep them because they're great to add sauces and use them as Tupperware, and it's free because you already paid for it. Now, the last couple ingredients, you want about a tablespoon of lemon juice and about half a teaspoon, like a little pinch of salt, and then probably a tablespoon of dill, which I think that's all of the dill. I'm gonna use all of it. You can put mint in it if you want. If you do like mint, that's totally up to you. Now we have the salad all ready and prepped and the tzatziki sauce. I'm also gonna have one of these pitas and some chicken. I'm gonna just figure out how much chicken I need and what fits my macros. And for the chicken, I'll probably cook it in like the most minimal oil as I possibly can and just throw some oregano and some salt with it because the flavors of the other ingredients are so powerful that honestly the chicken could be just plain and it would still taste delicious. I might also add half an avocado, but I need to make sure it fits with my macros because obviously avocado is a fat, so it is more calorie dense. I think that's all for dinner. Now I'm going to prepare my lunch. One thing that I forgot to mention is your water intake. Your water intake is so important. And to be honest, for some reason, I am just never thirsty and I just never want to drink water. It's always a chore for me to drink water. I know it's so important to drink water, so that's why I'm over here forcing it down. The goal for myself is 2 liters. Now, honestly, I'd even recommend myself getting 3 liters a day, but it's very challenging. And I just try to get as much water as I physically can. For my lunch, I'm gonna have a bagel with some light cream cheese and that smoked salmon that I was craving earlier. So I'm just gonna spread the cream cheese and then see how much is actually on it. Personally, I like to get everything light, like light mayonnaise, because I just find you can get a lot more. Where like regular mayonnaise, for example, 1 tablespoon is like 100 calories for regular mayonnaise when you can get light mayonnaise. And that's like 15 calories per 1 tablespoon. I just feel like that's such a better option. So salmon is majority protein, but also has a lot of fat in it. When you want something, if you want a fish that's majority protein, you kind of want to go for the white fish, like snapper or cod. Any of those are majority protein. Perfect. Yum, 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 yum. So I'm about to go inside and cook off my chicken for my dinner. But before I go do that, I am going to run you through how many calories I have been eating and where I'm at with my macros today. So I hit around 1,800 calories. Now, my goal was 1,900 calories, but there's a few things that I did not fully add. There was some lettuce, some cucumbers, maybe a little bit of oil here and there to cook the chicken, and just like very small, minuscule things that could easily add up to 50 to 100 calories. So I'm not too stressed about the calories. I do try to stay a little bit under the recommended amount, especially if I do miss things. But the biggest things are to make sure that I have my protein in check. So with my protein, I hit a total of 136 grams of protein. My goal is 143, but I always shoot a little bit higher in protein just in case there is like absorption issues or whatnot. Carbs was a little bit less. I had 163 grams, where my goal was 190 grams. Fat was a little bit bang on, just a little bit over, which is totally good. All right, so I have some news about my new supplement company that I am going to be working with. It has been a long journey trying to find one that has ticked every box that I needed it to tick. So definitely look out for that, because that is super exciting. And of course, if you ever use my code or choose to support me in any way, shape, or form, I truly appreciate you so much. It truly does not go unnoticed. Other than that, if you have any questions, any specific questions, please drop them in the comments below. I am more than happy to help. Also, if you have any recommendations for any type of videos that you want to see, then please let me know as well, because I am here to try to help and motivate and inspire and give some value any way, shape, or form. So please let me know. Other than that, I truly appreciate you guys watching my video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.